Hey everybody, it's Liz from the Lemon Bowl, and today I'm showing you how to make my favorite stuffed grape leaves recipe, the Lebanese version, which is made with meat and rice. It's really just 5 simple ingredients. They're so easy. I really think you're gonna love it, especially when you see it. To start off, you've got some ground meat. We typically use either ground sirloin or ground lamb, or a combination of the two. Half and half is a really perfect mixture. And then to the ground lamb, you're gonna add in some white rice. This is just good old-fashioned Uncle Ben's white long grain parboiled white rice. Now we're gonna add juice of 1 lemon. This is 2 lemons juice because part of it will be used to cook the grape leaves. So I'm just gonna do half of the total amount. And then salt. And in general, my ratio is always 1 teaspoon of salt for every 1 pound of meat. And as I always say, when you're cooking from scratch, don't be shy with the salt and pepper. Lamb and rice have no flavor on their own, and lemon juice brings in a ton of acidity. So you really need to balance that out with salt. Now, we're gonna get our hands in here. I'm gonna take my rings off. We're gonna get dirty. Your hands are your best tools in the kitchen. You just wanna make sure that the lemon juice, the salt, and the rice, everything gets evenly incorporated. And what the lemon will do is it'll actually start breaking down the meat, creating a really delicious, tender end result. That's all good to go. And now we can start rolling them. Now the trick here is you wanna get your grape leaf on a single plate and lay it out flat. And then you take a little bit of meat, I'd say half a tablespoon, a little over a teaspoon. The key is not to overfill it. We grew up not eating super thick ones. We prefer them on the thinner side. So that's what you're gonna end up with. And you're just gonna keep on doing that. As you do it, you layer them in the bottom of a big pot. As you build up rows of the grape leaves, alternate the direction of them. That way there's no excess space in the pan as they cook. Now the grape leaves, they're all rolled and ready to go. So next we just need to make the broth that they're gonna cook in. A few secrets that I learned from my grandmother, these are totally optional, and it's basically just putting a little bit of celery and a little bit of cabbage. It just adds this little background note as the grape leaves cook in that broth that reminds me of my childhood. But again, totally optional, so don't worry about it. What you do need is another lemon juice. I also at this point like to add a little more salt. And then lastly, you just wanna fill this up with water to coat the grape leaves. And that way you wanna make sure they're all covered so that the rice fully cooks. My last trick is you take either a plate or a bowl, basically you turn it upside down, you put it on top and kind of push down gently, and that keeps the grape leaves immersed in the water and not floating up as it cooks. And then you put a lid on top and then bring it to high in a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, reduce it to low and just cook it for 15 minutes, remove from the heat, they're done. They're delicious, warm, room temperature, or even cold the next day. In fact, I think I like them best cold, but who's gonna wait for that? Not me. Perfect amount of lemon. That briny grape leaf pairs perfectly with the lamb, which is super tender. You're gonna love these grape leaves. And like I said, it's just 5 ingredients. For the full recipe, head to thelemonbowl.com.